What's up, y'all? Welcome to the On the Come Up podcast, where creative entrepreneurs share their come up journeys that turn their passions into success. I'm your host, Kimberly, so let's get started. What is up, guys? We are back with another episode. Today we are here with Gervatti.
Hey. Thank you for having me. You said it right, too.
Yeah, of course. Gervatti here is a music artist. So before we get into that, I wanted to let everybody know, who's ever watching or listening, but if you're watching, you can obviously see us. We are in a new setting, new studio. This is called Room to Speak Studios, my very own podcast studio that I just opened here this month, October. So this is it. I know if y'all been sticking with me from the beginning, you know, I started recording in an apartment lounge, and then I did a day office, and now finally here. So every episode you watch will be at Room to Speak Studios. All right, so we'll get into it. How did your music begin? Was there like a moment that made you realize, like, okay, this is what I want to do?
I've been making music probably since like 2014. But even as a kid, my dad he made music as well. Like, he made beats and stuff. So I always kind of had the inception, like I knew I wanted to make music. But I went to this Logic concert one time when he dropped his debut album. And I think at that concert, I knew I was going to make music forever.
Yeah, it was like, so he was like, he inspired you?
Yeah, I was young. Yeah, I mean, so I liked Logic whenever I was like 16. So it definitely inspired me. And that kind of I knew, just seeing the show and he's a really good performer. So, just seeing the show and everything, I knew I was like, okay, I want to do this forever.
What was the first song that you ever recorded?
Dang. First song ever recorded, I think, do you remember that Drake? You know what? Actually, the first song I ever recorded was I had a friend. We recorded a remix to like the T-Pain Bartender song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we did that. I was super young, but I mean, the first song I like released was over. It was this song called "Acting Up." It was like on SoundCloud. So, yeah.
Oh, and your song?
Yeah, that was like the first one I released. But I had like made music before that, but not like recorded it and released it. I would just write it, you know.
So where would the songs go?
You know what? They're still in notepads. My dad told me he has them. He said they found the notepads whenever they were going through their stuff. So they're just in notepads.
Oh, so you would just write music first?
Yeah, I would show them.
Uh-huh.
I would show like my family and stuff. Show my dad and like my stepmom and shit.
Oh, that's nice. But you never like sung the songs, made beats, or produced it or anything?
No, that was just like writing to it. You know, once I turned, I want to say once I got into like my sophomore year of high school, my friend that I still live with today, his name's Lev. He produces most of my music. He engineers everything. He started making beats, and then so he got a microphone and stuff, and I started recording over there. We started dropping on SoundCloud, and that was like 2014, and then I stayed on SoundCloud for like 8 years. I think I released my first song on Apple Music and just like main platforms like 2020, I believe.
Yeah, I was looking back at your stuff. I was like, oh, he's been doing this for a minute then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Besides Logic, like who or what like was your biggest influences growing up?
Biggest influences, I listened to a lot of R&B growing up, but a lot of different things. I'd say as a kid, I loved 50 Cent. I loved Usher. It's like some of the early like 2000s music, but more as an adult, I would say Kanye West is like one of my bigger influences. Kanye West, Drake, even Party Next Door. Like those are probably like my favorite artists right there. So
right now?
Yeah.
What inspires your lyrics? Like, is it a personal experience you're feeling in the moment, or you're just storytelling?
Definitely personal experience. I think it changes. Sometimes it'll be I've recently, probably just like over the last year, I've started like punching in more. So where it's like I don't write anything down and I kind of just go line by line, just making it, just recording it and making it right there. But all before that, I would write. It would mostly be personal experiences, a lot of like love life stuff, or just like, you know, personal. Now I've kind of got a little bit more bodacious, I guess, and started like making more music that's a little more upbeat and stuff. But for a long time, it was mostly like wintertime music, I guess.
Bodacious. I haven't heard that word in a while.
Yeah, it just came to me.
what would you say like your genre is currently?
I would say I'd say hip hop.
Hip hop?
I would say hip hop for sure.
Is that what like Apple Music like labels? You know how Apple Music
Well,
does
yeah.
it does it on its own, right? So
Well,
I've
no,
heard.
you put it.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, you put it. Whenever you go through a distribution company. So I used to go through DistroKid. I go through United Masters now, and you basically set what you want the genre to be. You can set like a secondary genre and stuff. I just stick to it says rap and hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does your songwriting or recording process look like?
Like I said, right now, I have friends. Sometimes I make beats a lot too. I make a lot of my own beats. So it's either I have beats that they send me, which I have tons. Like I have my homie Lo, Stilo Ray. He produced a lot of my music, and then Lev. Those are my two main producers that send me everything, and I just like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really write now, so I just pull it up and get the mic, and I just listen. Once I get the first line, I just keep going.
So more like a freestyle?
Yeah, but it's a little bit more thought out because it's line by line. So I guess I get it is like a freestyle, but you kind of get better at it. You know what I mean? So whenever I first started punching in, it was a lot harder, but now I can actually be more like intricate what I'm saying. It's not like it's just random, I guess.
Oh, okay, I see.
You know
But
what I mean?
so you don't like write like on your notes or
Nah, not really. Sometimes I do though. Like if I'm at work or something and I'm just like trying to write to a beat that someone sent me, then yeah, I'll write. But if I'm like in the process of making music, it usually happens now where I just go and I just listen to it and then have the mic ready and then like go line by line.
Well, what if you're like out somewhere and then you have an idea for a line?
I write it down.
You do?
Yeah, in my notes.
Okay.
I always do that. I'll write down either like a line or like a name for a song or even a theme. Usually it's like something I want to make a song about. I was like, man, that would be a crazy idea. Like I remember one time I had fallen asleep in an Uber and I was like, man, that's like a crazy thing to like fall asleep in an Uber. I thought it was crazy, so I just like wrote it down. Just shit like that.
Like you wrote like its title down? Did you
I
ever
just
use
wrote
it?
falling asleep in an Uber. And that would be a cool idea to make a song.
Did you ever use it?
No.
No?
Nah.
Yeah. Are you planning?
Sometimes they get lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My notes are crazy. Like, there got to be like 5,000 notes. Like, you could just scroll. Because I've had the same iCloud since forever. So it's just like, so there's even full songs on there. Because I used to write everything. But who did I meet that really got me to punching in? I want to say I don't know if you know who Company is. He's another artist here in Fort Worth. But he punches in. I saw him he was able to make music really fast. And I was just noticing when I would make music with people, I would be slow. Like, because I'm writing. And once I started to punch in, it opened everything up. I'm able to make music way faster. Like, way faster. I'm able to also collabing is easy because you don't a lot of time writing it kind of slows you down, like because music's really all about the feeling in my opinion. So it's just like when you're able to, it's all about the feeling. The words matter a little bit less and you could go in and tweak the words a little bit, but really it's like getting the melody that you have down, and that's like the most important thing. So a lot of people like start and then write and then like it messes up the flow, whereas if you, and even whenever I work with people, I try to teach them or tell them to punch in, like just say what you feel. Like you have that first line, get it down, rather than like getting the first line and then writing more. Just like get the first line down and then add more to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what is that? What you call it? Punching? Is that
That's what, yeah, punching. I feel like it's like a popular thing to do. I think it's people do that now. Do you know who like Blackboy Max is?
I don't know.
He's a streamer. A lot of times streamers will I don't know. I think this dude's name is Kenny Beats, I believe. And then like Blackboy Max, basically they'll do it where they'll have artists pull up to their stream, and that's how they'll make music. Like they'll just play the beat and they'll kind of just go line by line, and you literally just record the first line and then they play it from the beginning. You add on to it and keep adding on, just keep adding on.
Honestly, like you're like the first artist that I've had that uses that kind of technique, and I think that's so like unique. Like I've never heard of that. Like
really?
I just learned about that.
Everyone says they write.
Yeah, people say they write it down.
Yeah.
In their notes, or people have notebooks, you know, like or they're in the studio, they already have it.
I think it's also just the type of music you make too. That's probably what, because I still do write, and even sometimes if it's like I'm trying to be a little bit more like like certain beats where you're fitting more into a bar, or it's like you're trying to be a little deeper with your lyrics, and I'll kind of like I'll like write it down as I'm like saying, as I'm doing it, you know what I mean, so I can keep referring to it. And then I'll kind of just like, I'll punch it in, I'll get like however far, and then I'll redo it, but with everything written down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'll like re-record it, but the punching in is just like to keep that
momentum.
And that feeling, because it's like it changed how I made music. It made me so much better. So
what's your favorite track so far
that I've made?
Yeah.
It's probably one that's not out, but like that's out right now. I would probably say this song called Overplayed. And it does really good live too. Like it's a little bit more of an introspective track. So
have you performed it yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I performed it probably like 3 times. I usually will fit it into like the middle of a set. A lot of my sets tend to be like very high energy though, so it doesn't always fit. But yeah, it does good. But it's a good song to listen to in the car, and I just it was like whenever I made it, it was very like it was a memorable experience whenever I made it. Like I made it in the heat of the moment, so.
So you just remember exactly what?
Yeah, I remember the day I went home and like made it right. Yeah, after something happened, I guess.
What would you say that's something most people wouldn't expect about you as an artist?
I think so. My friends will tell me that if you look at my social media, that I'm not how. I guess you could like I'm more goofy and like less serious in person than you would think from like my music or social media. But I think I'm starting to get to where I'm like meshing the two, where I'm trying to show my personality more, but like I'm really not that serious, you know. I like to have fun. I'm a little goofy and shit.
Yeah, but you give off that serious vibe.
Yeah, they'll think that, or just like the music I make. Like I said, for a long time I was making very like almost like sad music a lot of the time, or it's like heavy, rather than now I'm even like I just dropped this project called No Supervision, and we probably made this probably like in 5 or 6 sessions really, and like it was just I finally just like had fun. Like I was just having fun. I really didn't think too much about what the songs were gonna be or anything, so I'm kind of getting to where I can just have fun with it now.
How do you get your ideas for like your visuals? Do people like give you ideas, or is it just something you see, you pop off?
Honestly, if I'm being honest, there's a lot of visuals that I just like I have in mind that I'm not able to capitalize on yet. But as far as just like the reels I put, if that's what you're talking about, I draw inspiration from other artists on Instagram a lot of time. But really, me and Keenan, who I dropped the project with, we're getting pretty good at just like seeing spots and then just getting our angles and stuff and kind of learning. We kind of just been doing it for a while, so we kind of figured out what we like. A lot of time, like lately, I like a lot of still shots, so I like to find an area that just has like a cool background. It's like a busy background, or even just like it could be something so simple like your colors of what you're wearing and like your skin tone just compared to the background. So like the theme we were going for with the No Supervision is we just honestly pulled up to this to like a convenience store. And it just like it looked cool with what we were wearing and just like the vibe we were going for. It's like no supervision. It's just like we kind of just wanted to be like a little bit ignorant, I guess.
Yeah,
you could say.
I like that. I saw that and I was like, okay, you put it in the work. I like that when like the visuals really do help with the reels and the songs, and it makes people like, okay, like, oh, I like your work. I want to follow you.
Yeah,
you know, I think it looks really good on anyone's profile. Did
you see the cover?
Yeah, the cover is like,
it's like the
2
babies.
kids. Yeah, right.
I had me and him did a show together, and we had this photographer, JoJo. She took a picture of us, and one day I just had ChatGPT make it into like 2 babies, and then I was like, man, this would be crazy. And then I have another friend named Madison. He was like, bro, you should call it No Supervision. And we were like, all right, yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, it matches.
It turned out cool. A lot of the best shit you don't really think too deep into. It just kind of happens. And like even how this like everything kind of happened perfect, because I knew I was going to drop this project, but then we had talked about doing the podcast. I was like, man, this is perfect time. I'm going to drop the podcast or do the project, do the podcast, and then I have a show coming up later in November. So it was just like perfect timing for everything.
Yeah, we'll get into that about your show in a second. How do you define success as an artist?
I would say freedom. I think being able to do what you want when you want, make the music you want, drop it when you want, and be free. Be free, not have anyone tell you what to do or make or where to be or anything. Just not doing anything you don't want to do.
Right. Would you say like one of your goals is to like become signed?
For me, yeah. Like a lot of people, they say no. I would like to be signed eventually because I think that I have that type of, I think I have like the commercial appeal. I think that I can have that, and just like the type of music I make, I kind of wanted to surpass just like underground and you can do it independent. Like there's a lot of artists, and I'm gonna rock independent for as long as it makes sense. But with the label, you're able to, your budget goes up, and it's like the connections you get with the label. It's that's really what it is. And then also just like they put you out in front of a bigger audience, you know. So I think my goal is to just like fully max out what I can do independently, getting myself in front of as many people as possible. And then once that like reaches sort of a plateau, or just where I'm like, I've built up enough leverage so I could go into a label meeting and be like, I have this whole catalog, I'm already fine independent, I don't need you, but we could make money together, you know?
Yeah, right. So that's eventually your goal.
For sure, yeah.
What's next for Gervatti?
Gervatti. It's all good.
I
Everyone says that. Yeah.
Ger.
I just think of Gerber. That's what I'm...
Like, yeah, right.
What's next? I guess I'm gonna drop another project probably in December. That's gonna be a solo project, and I've kind of been working on it. Like I said, no supervision, was just like some fun shit that I did. But definitely just making music and trying to do as many shows as possible. I like performing. I like meeting other artists and working with artists, but really just dropping music, staying consistent.
And then, so you did mention you have a show coming up here in Fort Worth?
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Yeah. It's at Tulips. I knew I was going to forget the date. I think it's November 20th. So it's going to be at Tulips. I have, it's crazy. You know who Lou Charles is?
Yeah, I've actually seen him perform there before.
For real? He's fire, right?
Yeah.
He saw me perform one time at this bar. I think it's called Loadout Bar, right by Tulips. I did this little show, and what's crazy is like I met him walking in, and I introduced myself, but he didn't even know who I was. But the show was it was crazy. Like it was a real good show, and eventually his manager, I think it's his manager, he does his visuals. He walked into where I work, and we started talking, and eventually he was like, bro, we're about to do this 5-year anniversary for Lou. And he was like, yo, you should open up. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Did he recognize you, or he didn't see you the first time? Well, the manager.
Oh, nah, I think he did. He saw me at that show too. But he's a busy guy, I feel like. He seemed like he was thinking about a lot of shit. Whenever I was like, Mitch, we had already followed each other. I was like, you're Mitch, right? He was like, yeah, bro, okay, yeah, I know you are. And I was just like, yeah, we should work, like, you know, stay in touch. And then he ended up just hitting me up about the show, and it was just crazy. That's how a lot of shit happens, just meeting. I mean, that's how I met you, just going to the Saltwater Secrets, and then, you know. Yeah,
networking, it's a big plus, especially for us, you know, in the industry, just to connect with other creators.
Yeah, I just try not to think about it as like, because everyone's like, network. I'm like, honestly, if you just go places and you just talk to people, like, whenever you're like networking, it's like, it makes it feel like there's an ulterior. Like, I didn't know you did a podcast whenever I talked to you. Yeah. I was just like, yo, I forgot what I said. I think they had that photo booth right there. I was like, are you going to do it? And then you're like, oh, we start talking, you do a podcast. So that's really how it happens, I feel like.
You don't think it's like it's necessarily staged, you
know? Yeah, I don't really do good with that. Like, honestly, I'm not that great at fucking faking like meeting people just to like, oh, I know what they do, so I'm gonna like go try to talk to them. I'm not really good at that shit. So.
What advice would you have for people who want to make music or get into the music industry?
Man, I think everyone's like, you gotta love it. I think just don't let it start to feel like a job. Like, just have fun with it. And if you stay consistent and you truly love and you make good music, of course, and you love what you do, and you stay consistent, you will get what you want out of it. I feel like that's really all the advice I can offer. I mean, I don't really. I'm still figuring out myself.
Yeah, I think consistency. People notice consistency and they start trusting you the more consistent you are. Because I've heard that too. They're like, "Oh, you're consistent," when it comes to the podcast, and people notice that. People notice like you're doing stuff, posting stuff. People notice the consistency. I feel like more than anything.
Oh yeah.
And so people respect that. Yeah.
There's a lot more people watching too than that are actually interacting, and like, there's this amount of people are watching, and maybe only this amount of people are like telling you something, but a lot of people are watching, and consistency is important with it, with anything.
Yeah, that's how it feels. Like no one's really watching, but a lot of people watching, but no one really saying anything. That's how it feels all the time.
That's how it is. But a lot of people. The thing is, a lot of people probably want to do what you do or do what I do or whoever, but they're just scared. Like, the fact that you like just start doing it, you're gonna just keep getting better. And like your studio, like if you probably didn't know where you were gonna go with it, but you just started putting out podcasts, and then after a while you just stack it up and you start meeting people, and just it builds up. I think you don't gotta know where it's gonna go. You just like gotta take the next step.
You just gotta head there. Like you just gotta walk there.
Just do something. Just do something. Like overthinking. Like there were so many years, because I've been making music for a long time, like I said, but there was breaks in that time, like a year to 2 breaks where I didn't do anything. And that's just overthinking. Whenever you overthink, you just become stagnant. So I kind of just I stopped doing that. And luckily I have good people around me too, so could just keep me motivated.
So we're going to play a little This or That Music Edition. I already know the answer to this one, because studio recording or late night at home?
Oh, late night at home.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Lyrics first or beat first?
Beat first.
Hooks or verse?
Ooh, it depends. A lot of the time, the hook. A lot of time I'll start writing and think it's going to be the verse, but I'll do something catchy and I'm like, nah, that's a hook. So I think the hook is most important for sure.
Drake or J. Cole?
Drake all day.
Yeah.
I love J. Cole though.
Yeah, same.
I grew up, I'm from New Mexico, but my stepmom and my dad, they live in North Carolina, and I actually just went back to go see them probably like 5 months ago, and my childhood home was like 5 minutes away from J. Cole's childhood home.
Oh,
so
really?
Crazy.
That's crazy, yeah.
But yeah, Drake all day.
Collab with your idol or open for them on tour?
Dang, that's hard. Probably collab, because I just want to see how it would probably be. I don't really like to say idol, but I would like to see how they work for sure.
Who came to mind?
Kanye.
Kanye?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh.
Which it's weird now because all that shit, but
yeah.
I love I don't give a fuck.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on and
shit was cool.
Sharing your journey. You know who? You probably don't know. You know who you remind me of, like your style. Do you know who Heath Ledger is?
The dude who played the
Joker.
Damn, that's who I remind you of.
And The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
No, because he did a movie in the 90s, which you're probably. I mean, I was a kid, but I watched it.
I'm pretty old.
As a teenager. 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yeah, I watched that.
You look like him in that movie.
Wow.
I was like, that's what you give me, Heath Ledger vibes, like with the long curly hair,
I never got that. I always had my hair short, and I started growing it. And I remember I was about to cut it, and I put on Instagram, I was like, should I cut my hair? And of course, like, all the girls were like, no, don't cut it. But I had one homie named Kush, and he was like, he actually gave me a good answer. He was like, bro, I feel like when I think of you, it's like unique. And I actually met this other artist a while back, and I remember I saw him at House of Blues. I was like, I don't know if you remember me, bro. I said my name and shit. I was like, what's up? He's like, bro, I remember the hair. And just little things where I'm like, damn, so I think I'm going to keep the hair for a while. Yeah,
it's a good look. It reminds me of Heath Ledger, but like to me, Heath Ledger was so like iconic, back then in the 90s and the early 2000s, and he was like one of my favorite actors.
Damn.
So,
yeah, I just recently watched that movie too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I just
crazy.
had to say. I was like, that's who
Oh,
he reminds me of.
Thank you. Shit, I'll take it. It sounds like a compliment.
It is. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your journey. You guys, let everybody know where they can find you.
On all socials at Gervatti, Gervatti. I think on Instagram there's like an underscore, but it should pop up whenever you type it in, and then all my links will be right there for you. So
yeah, YouTube fam, don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow us on social media. We will see you guys in 2 weeks.